Hey everybody, welcome back to Scattered Cast, a show where me and my brother break down the hobbies that we're into in the moment. Usually it's Magic the Gathering, got a lot of role-playing stuff, collecting videos, things like that. If it's your first time to the channel, hit the subscribe button, like the video, comment. I'm Travis, by the way. I'm usually joined by my brother Ray, but I'm just going to do a quick review on the Dungeons and Dragons Essentials Kit. If you've been following along with the show, we've been hinting at doing some more role playing, getting into some stuff that we used to do when we were younger. And over Christmas, I got this actually from my brother. So I wanted to do a really quick review and kind of just tell people what's in the box, what's in the box, about what's in the box, what you can kind of get out of this intro kit, and some tips from me getting into it, kind of what I've learned from what I've learned from kind of working through this box, reading it, getting it back in Dungeons and Dragons. Real quick before we get into what's in the box, just from touched on it briefly. Where the review is coming from is we used to play Dungeons and Dragons when we were kids. Really big into second edition or advanced Dungeons and Dragons, it was more commonly known. Played all through the 90s and dabbled a little bit with third and fourth edition. I didn't DM through those editions, but kind of fell off of Dungeons and Dragons in the early 2000s. So it's been about 15 years since I've played, about 20 years since I ran an actual Dungeons and Dragons quest. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. I do have a little bit of background in role playing. If you've watched the show, you'll know that we did a Kids on Bikes quest back over summer with my sister and my brother. That was really fun. So link somewhere to the video. And I've also done a video where I kind of went through my old Dungeons and Dragons role playing, like Vampire the Masquerade books, and kind of just free form just talked about them. So that's another video I will link somewhere in this video. So that's where I'm coming from. I want to tell you that just so you kind of know where my brain's at when I'm coming into to review this. So the first thing we want to do is I want to jump into, what's actually, I've made the joke from Seven multiple times, but what's actually in the box, what you're going to get, with the Essentials Kit. Now this isn't, I'm going to play the video. This isn't an unboxing because this isn't like fresh. You'll notice that my stuff is put together. I got some notes kind of written down. So I got some things that, aren't going to be on your kit, but I want to go through the box kind of. So we get the box. So here we go. So the first thing we got the dice. Now it was really interesting to me was seeing the dice set because I come from the, 4, 8, 12, 10, 20, those were your dice. And then they added the percentile dice later. So seeing all these dice was kind of, new to me. Here are the cards that you're going to get. They're going to come on sheets. You're going to bend the sheets and rip these out gently. But these have magic items, quest scenarios, status effects to your characters, even some NPCs if you're going to run, a smaller campaign with just a solo, friend, you as the DM and a player. So if you want to, add some more characters to it, here's the Dungeon Master screen. Really cool. It's got a lot of good stats on the inside, things to remember, things to help the DM sort of keep the flow of the game going. So if you need a quick rule or something, it's right there inside your screen. Here's the map to this scenario that comes in the book. So that is Phandalin, that's the town. And then Sword Coast, I believe, is Sword Coast. That's all the different areas in Forgotten Realms that are around Phandalin. I'm probably saying that wrong. All right, so here's the first book. This is the Essentials Kit. This is the rule book. This is going to break down character creation, how to role play if you've never role played before. I got my Borders book card in there. And this is what you need to kind of learn the rules of Dungeons and Dragons. And then you have the Dragon of Ice Spire Peak. This is the actual scenario. This is the quest you're going to be running. You can see that I've already bookmarked pages for the first 3 quests that the adventurers can choose from. There's the monsters that you encounter, even some NPCs. And then lastly, but certainly not least, you have the character sheets. So 6 really nice, very well printed character sheets, and then a little card at the back that you can get some download stuff from D&D Beyond. So those are the innards. That's the inside of the box. So for me, I like learning RPGs kind of in this way. I'm very, I'm more in tune to just tell me the mechanics, keep it simple, and then I'll get further in and learn more. I just want to kind of know. I just want to get to the meat of it, or first. And also, growing up, I had a lot of kind of like learning setbacks. I didn't read very well. I would backslide awful during the summer. Like, so the only reading, I had the little bit of reading I did, and the writing I would do was Dungeons and Dragons. So at least that would keep me, sort of reading, writing a lot, definitely being creative, drawing. That was kind of like the main focus for me. I was using my brain a lot, but I would definitely backslide a lot over summer. And so even if you don't have, you didn't have that growing up, if you were very well read, I feel like sometimes Dungeons and Dragons is kind of intimidating because I did buy the players. I had some returns at Amazon, so I had some money to spend. So I mean, just for someone who's never learned how to do a role-playing game, like, this is an intimidating book. So this is the difference between the essentials and then the actual player's handbook. So someone coming in that's new to the game and they get a 300-page book, they might be like, no, I'll wait till, whatever. I'm not going to learn how to play. Where if you get this nice, 60-page book that kind of breaks down the core mechanics, of role playing and of Dungeons and Dragons, this is very accessible. And I really like having, if I'm learning something new, even though I came from, old school D&D, even jumping into Kids on Bikes. Like, Kids on Bikes is a very thin, it looks like a graphic novel. It's not as robust as Dungeons and Dragons. So having that, having it so you kind of come in on a smaller scale is less intimidating. It's more, this is more attainable. So, all right, to wrap up this review, I'm going to start back from the beginning where I explained kind of where I was coming from. So I'm an older gamer. It's been out of the role-playing scene for a while, wanting to get back into it. And I was a bit intimidated by the player's handbook, not because of the heft of it. Like I was saying, like, I've obviously worked through a lot of my reading issues. I can read a little bit better now, a lot better now. But I was worried that, with just this book, where could I go from here? Do I have to get another book? Do I have to do something else? And this is kind of intimidating. So, coming into this as someone who wants to learn Dungeons and Dragons again, even though I have experience playing RPGs, what am I going to do after I go through the player's handbook? And this is my final review, or this is my final thoughts on the Essentials Kit is this. If you're somebody who has zero experience with role playing, definitely get this box. If you're somebody who has a moderate level, even to an advanced level, but you just don't know what's next after you read how to play, get this box, because it teaches you the basics, fundamentals of playing Dungeons and Dragons, and it gives you a bunch of quests to go on to build characters, to give you ideas of what to do next. I believe that you can get, I forget how many quests are in here, but I think it's 9. Let's count them out real quick. There's 14 quests and an ending. So this gives you a lot of gameplay. It sounds very video gamey. I don't mean it to be, but this gives you a lot of time playing Dungeons and Dragons out of the box, no pun intended. And this box usually retails for $25.99 or $24.99. I've seen it on Amazon for $15, for $12. There's even a different version that was created in 2014. This one came out in 2019. I was actually almost inspired to pick up the 2014 version just to see what kind of quests, were available, and it's a cheap investment. It's $12. You get a lot of content. If you are somebody who you like jumping into the deep end, and already that you're going to play D&D, you're already going to go buy this. You know what I mean? But I would still, even if you're that type of person, I would still recommend getting the Essentials Kit, because you're ready to go. And the only reason why I have the player's handbook is, yes, I did have some money from some returns at Amazon, but because of this Essentials book, I was inspired and knew, like, okay, I'm going to keep going. You know what I mean? This isn't going to be just a quick, learn how to play and then be done, So, all right. So that's my rambly review. Hopefully I can edit this down into something that makes sense. But yes, I would recommend to anybody out there that wants to get into D&D, check this out. It's super fun, explains everything. And plus, there's tons of online resources. You have Critical Role. I watch the AEW wrestling crew do Critical Botch every once in a while. So you have a lot of things. You have a lot of internet sources that we didn't have growing up to learn about stuff. The one negative, I would say, there's a few aspects that, because they're doing stuff very surface level for you getting into the game, there's a couple things on the character sheet, like inspiration, and there's a couple other things that they don't quite tell you. They should tell you a little bit more clearly that these are the things that we're not going to get into in this set, and kind of be more upfront with certain things. Like, this is what we're going to teach you. This is the stuff that you don't need to worry about. So when I was doing like the character sheet breakdown, there's a couple of moments where I was just like, wait, what is this? I can't find this. And I had to go either into the player's handbook or online and kind of figure it out. But so that's my review. I hope you like it. Leave a comment. If you do get this set and you jump into D&D and you love it, let me know. If you jump into D&D and you hate it, let me know. But we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment, like and subscribe, do all the stuff. So thanks for watching, everybody. I don't know why I did that, but all right, thanks for watching, everybody. Peace.